heavy rain shower here at about 4:45 this afternoon. Fortunately, the grounds crew had put the tarp back on 5 minutes before that. Things have cleared off nicely. Here's the Southwest.com lineup for the Cubs. They're 248, 14th in the league in batting average, and Derek Lee is getting it done in the month of July. More RBIs this month than anybody, 58 on the year. He's on a 4-game hitting streak, and you just get the feeling now with the Ramos Ramirez being back for 25 games, this might be an offense ready to take off. It'll be up to Craig Stammen and his young teammates to try to keep that from happening. Kosuke Fukudome is back in the lineup tonight, hitting just .251, and he's got a base hit right inside the line on the first pitch, right at 7:05. Nats had him played well off the line, and the Cubs are in business 1 pitch into the game. That's how you break an 0 for 14 swinging at the first pitch.
Lou Piniella was kind of upset with Fukudome down the stretch last year after the All-Star break. Really shut it down for the year. There you see him getting a ground ball right by Nick Johnson.
Yeah, he only hit .257 for the entire year after being selected to the All-Star game in the middle of the season. Next up is Ryan Theriot, and Stammen misses low and away. This is the hottest Cub hitter with a 9-game streak, 14 for his last 35. He's a smart guy, knows how to push the ball to the other side. He'll pull it though in front of the runner. Little in between Hopper Gonzalez, and he loses the play at first. Alberto Gonzalez with his 8th error of the year, and the Nats have made 3 errors in this series already.
Well, it short hops him, takes his eye off it for a split second, and then drops it. And that time, Theriot has already made it to first base. So, as you said, his 8th error of the season. But that is ground ball number 109. For Stammen this year. That should have been an out.
The only good thing about that play was hit in front of the runner, so Fukudome had to stay at second. Double plays in order, but Derek Lee is not really a ground ball type hitter when he's going well, and right now he is. Stammen takes a little bit off and gets the swing and the miss.
Well, and you can forget the error if you could get a ground ball double play right here, because once again, like yesterday when Lee was on first base later in the ball game, he's going to clog up the bases. So running to first base, you got to get Theriot at second. You could turn a double play and just have Fukudome at third.
Lee's only hit into 4 double plays this year. Stammen goes soft on his second delivery to get another strike.
Well, he looks like he crossed up Bard. Bard runs right out there to talk about it. There's an opposite field home run off of John Lannon.
That was a solo shot with 1 out in the 6th last night. It gave the Cubs a 2-0 lead. And that was his 18th of the year. What does Stammen have here on 0-2? A breaking ball that he buries.
He could throw 3 more of those, or even a sinker down and in, but everything down low. Make sure he hits this ball on the ground. Can't get frustrated. You want to control Derek Lee and make him expand his zone. Can't give in to the hitter.
Yeah.
Keep throwing it down, and eventually he's going to swing at it.
A 2-2. Got him on the inside corner. Stammen ran a fastball right under his hands for a huge first out.
Didn't expect that one. Very nice job here by Josh Bard, calling for the fastball. Threw nothing but stuff in the dirt, sinkers, sliders, and then gets the old Powder River right by him.
Ball well hit. Gonzalez has this one. Willie Harris turns it into a double play. Aramis Ramirez gone, and Stammen battles back after the double and the error. With no runs on only 9 pitches. Craig Stammen just did it. Here come the Nats. Southwest.com lineup. Washington hitting .263, 4th in the league, and Josh Bard continues his great hitting. 15 games, he's hitting .354, and he's also this year hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. So Bard 7th, Gonzalez 8th, some potent bats at the bottom of the lineup, and here's Niger Morgan leading off. Since coming to the Nationals 12 games ago, he's hitting .304. And Rob will set you up on the big, strong Carlos Zambrano, who goes 3-0 to a man he does not want to walk.
No, he doesn't. Speed, thrills. Oh, didn't have to be.
Niger Morgan, by the way, his on-base average overall this year, .350. That would be considered mediocre for a leadoff guy. Nothing but fastballs, and he pumps one in there, 3-2. 23-year veteran crew chief Gary Darling has the plate. DJ Rayburn, Mike Estabrook, and Paul Emmel the bases. Morgan just missing, going over the third base bag.
Let's get the scouting report on the Big Z. PNC Bank. He is the ace of spades. He is definitely one of the best pitchers in the major leagues. In his 16 starts, they've won 10 of them and 0. That's how many home runs he gave up in the months of May and July.
This will be a long throw for Ramirez. Safe. Morgan, in fact, calls himself safe as he goes by the bag. If he makes an infielder move 5 or 6 feet to either side, he's got a chance to beat it out.
Wow, this is just speed right here. Ramirez is a pretty good third baseman with a very strong arm. High throw, even with a 6'6" guy. Almost looks like he got clipped by Morgan going by. Watch this at the end.
I think so.
Did he step on him? Yes, he did. So he steps on the big man. Purely incidental or accidental contact there.
Morgan picked off first base.
Yeah,
by Carlos Marmol for the last out of the 8th inning last night. And that was a right-handed pitcher. Nick Johnson steps in, batting .301.
Zambrano's only allowed 7 home runs on the season. I wanted to throw this number at you. Over the last 3 years against right-handed hitters, they're hitting .205 off Zambrano. Runs that ball in on righties' hands and away from lefties. Kind of fits into Nick's comfort zone, going to left.
Nick's had multi-hit games in 4 of his last 6. Batting average hovering just above 300, and the on-base average still above 400. Zambrano behind his second consecutive hitter. There's nobody covering second, and Morgan steals it. Ryan Theriot very slow getting over as Morgan just took off and never stopped. That'll be his 26th of the year.
See Niger right there. Nice move from Zambrano, but there's nobody home at second base, and he just goes all the way to second. I like this by a base stealer. Why stop getting a run down?
Right.
Hopefully the first baseman makes a bad throw and you're safe at second.
By the way, Niger Morgan, since coming to the Nats, 8 for 8 stealing bases. The pickoff last night not counting as a caught stealing.
Oh, I'm counting it.
He probably is too.
Caught stealing, no.
And Zambrano throws the ball into center
there's nothing
field.
Niger can do.
But Morgan couldn't get up in time to make a move to third, so no error. Play on, and Theriot got in behind the base runner.
Yes, he must have had some kind of grip on that thing that when he threw it, it looked like my sister throwing.
And I hear she has a fine arm.
She does have a good arm. No, she doesn't. She throws like a girl. Now, my other sister was a world-class like track field. You know, remember, she's a dibble. She's big. So she was like a shot-putting discus girl.
Way upstairs, second consecutive batter. Zambrano goes 3-0. This is a very emotional pitcher. He doesn't always react well when things don't go well behind him. But Rob, he also is a shutdown pitcher. And if you don't take advantage of an opportunity early in a ball game like this, you could look up in the 7th inning and Lou Pinella's starter has you shut out on about 3 or 4 hits.
And that's the thing. He has gone 7 or more innings in half of his starts so far this season. He may be record-wise 5-4, but the team, as I said before, 10 wins in the 16 starts.
It's a little BP fastball gets in there. It's 3-1.
But he will short arm the ball, and he sometimes gets below the 3/4 side delivery where his release point is. And sometimes you come out of your warm-up and you're just not loose.
That ball in on Nick, and he fouled it.
I mean, that was just a funky throw to second base. Here's his delivery. See him nice and fluid and balanced, and separation's perfect.
He's a big man, 6'5", 225, and he sure looks heavier than that. 3-2 to Johnson. Nick will drive it out of play to the left side. Cubs start tonight 3 back of St. Louis in the Central. They're tied for 3rd with Houston. Milwaukee just 2 back. And all the ball clubs are back in action tonight. There were a bunch of American League teams and 4 National League teams who had 4-day All-Star breaks who did not play until tonight. Johnson drives another, this one tailing out of play. It has turned into a magnificent Friday night for baseball. Weather has cleared, little breeze blowing in from left field. Partly cloudy skies and 76 degrees at first pitch.
Well, and as I told you, one of the reasons he's an ace, his ERA at the end of April, 4.6. In July, down to 2.8.
Target in, way in, and Johnson was hacking.
So as you go month to month, his ERA every month has gone down. 4.6, 3.3, 2.9, 2.8. At this point in the season, he's throwing the ball pretty well. Has not allowed a home run this month.
And only 7 on the year in 102 innings.
And that was 4 in April and 3 in June.
Good battle by Nick Johnson here, and with the shortstop jockeying behind the runner again, Zambrano steps off.
Well, he just makes it difficult on you. He throws a lot of fastballs in on your hands, throws some sinkers away from running fastballs away from lefties and in on righties. He's got a really good breaking ball.
And Nick works for the walk. What a good at bat by Johnson. Ryan Zimmerman is hitting right-handers better than lefties this year. And last night, his final time up against Kevin Gregg, he lined one right inside the foul pole, right into the bullpen. And for Ryan, Home run number 15, RBI number 53.
And for most right-handed hitters, too, in the course of their lifetime and career, they don't face a lot of lefties. And the ones they do are probably pretty filthy if they're at the major league level.
True.
So they face a lot more right-handed pitching throughout their lifetime, high school, college, whatever. That's not abnormal.
Zimmerman's numbers, though, pretty big difference. 209 against left-handers,
wow.
315 against righties. Cubs have an interesting defense here. Zimmerman hits a lot of ground balls up the middle between the pitching mound and short. The Cubs shortstop Terrio plays him to pull much more than most teams do. Ryan usually hits his ground balls in this situation right about where the runner is. Now the second baseman Fontenot is well behind the bag there. And for the first time tonight, Zambrano is ahead in the count. And Morgan with a right-handed batter in there, he'll swipe third on you if you don't pay him enough heed. Counts even 1-1. Phillies are at it again. There's that breakdown, Rob. Really interesting how big of a difference that is.
Wow. Home run differential, the batting average. I think he crushed lefties. Zambrano just doesn't look loose. He keeps trying to loosen up his shoulder. Velocity is not there. Not throwing mid-90s, which is what he's known for.
Man, he's been almost untouchable in the first inning this year.
Now let's break that streak. Had a long conversation with Larry Rothschild and Lou Piniella last night after the game. They said that in Rich Harden's last side session was the best he had thrown all year. And Larry thought he would go into last night's start with better stuff, and he did have better stuff.
He was really good last night.
My pitching coach with the Reds, he's also a manager of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, pitching coach of the world champion Marlins. Buddy, he's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's a good baseball man there.
Yes.
1-2 to Zimmerman. Zambrano's 21st pitch of the game. Misses low and inside. I mentioned a moment ago in passing, the Phillies are at it again. Chase Utley has hit his 21st homer of the year, and they've already put 2 on the board in the first inning at Florida against Ricky Nolasco. The Phillies have won 10 of 11, 6 in a row, and lead Florida by 5, Atlanta by 6 in the East. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Zimmerman. Fastball, he's around late on it. And Rob, I know I heard you, I think on your radio show yesterday, say the Phillies are probably the one team in the league that didn't want to see the All-Star break arrive.
No,
they've gone out and just kept on going.
They had won 9 of their last 10 at home and really raised their season home record up there.
Finally.
But they went out, they won. Jamie Moyer, I got a chance to talk to him today. 13-2 against the Marlins lifetime. And he was talking about how hot it was last night.
Can he share some of that with our ball club?
He's 46 years old. He's 9-6 on the season. Everybody, oh, he's got a high ERA. It doesn't matter. They scored 10 runs a game for him anyway.
3-2 to Zimmerman. Zambrano's 3rd full count. He throws it up and in, and it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Nyjer Morgan was out by a mile at 3rd.
Anyway, Moyer, 7 innings, 1 hit last night, a shutout ball against the Marlins. Pretty good team, too. Well, this worked to perfection right here. You talk about double plays. Strike him out, throw him out right there. He throws an up and moving fastball past Zimmerman. And then Coy Hill just guns out Nyjer Morgan on his way to 3rd.
And that is a rally killer.
Yep.
Jim Riggleman must have been confident that Ryan Zimmerman could put the ball in play. The fact that both runners were moving indicates that was called from the dugout. There are certain base runners on this team who have the green light as they see fit. Nick Johnson, not usually one of those guys. Adam Dunn takes a ball inside 2-0.
Well, and I'm not going to say that you ran yourself out of an inning right there. You're thinking Zimmerman, as poorly as Zambrano's throwing the ball, is going to at least make contact.
Yeah, then he pulls a high fastball out of his repertoire and gets a strikeout. 3-0 to Dunn. This is the 4th consecutive batter he's gone to a 3-ball count on. You would hope that the green light, or at least think it's blazing. They're not going to mess with Adam now. They'll walk him intentionally and take their chances with Josh Willingham. Early game notes for you on a Friday night, second game out of the break. Ryan Howard got his 200th last night and the fastest ever to reach that mark. Tony Clark, the switch hitting power man, once upon a time let go by the Diamondbacks. And of course, that's a ball club 20 games out of first. And the Red Sox could eat as much as $13 million after letting Julio Lugo go. They signed him, what, $36 million for 4 years prior to the 07 season.
And the season before, they had signed Renteria to $40 million. And after 1 year, traded him to the Atlanta Braves.
Man. 2-0 on another hitter. This time it's Josh Willingham.
And I didn't have time to finish my list, but I compiled a list of all the active shortstops in the major leagues. Lugo has a lower fielding percentage than any of the 20+ I had on that list. You know who's the best though? Troy Tulowitzki. 989.
Willingham hits it sharply. The ball
keep going.
And I don't know what was happening at third base. There might have been a chance with 2 outs for Nick Johnson.
No, he's got to score on that ball. 2 outs. That's just bad base running again.
So each shortstop has made an error. What a crazy first inning. And nobody has crossed home plate for either team.
Well, I have no idea why Nick Johnson would stop at third base right here, but if he is running hard all the way through third, he scores easily on this error by Theriot. Wow. And he just stopped at third base.
You know, Rob, that ball ricocheted 25, 30 feet away from him. The runner should have been home standing up. Let's see if Willie Harris can make it hurt. Well, Zambrano falls behind him.
And that's a mental mistake right there, and that you can't have that at this level. You can make physical mistakes. Errors are going to happen, giving up home runs, things like that, but base running kill you.
Isn't part of that the coaching over there too? I don't know if I saw Pat Listash waving the runner home or not. Now it's 2-0 to Harris, and this is a big pitch for Carlos Zambrano. Willie Harris down the line. Can it stay fair? Not quite. About 8 to 10 feet from a grand slam. Man, that looked good off the bat, and he just hooked the heck out of it.
Zambrano has been struggling, trying to get loose, throws a fastball down and in. Willie catches that ball and crushes it off the facade just out.
2 balls and 1 strike. Inside, ball 3. And Willie Harris doesn't mind batting with 2 strikes. I mean, if he sees a cookie right here, he'll be hacking. Zambrano working quickly. And he misses. The Nationals lead 1-0 as Zambrano glares in at the umpire. And he'll get a visit from Larry Rothschild after his 36th pitch of the first inning.
Well, Larry's going to keep him from melting down right now because he's upset. But he's thrown 36 pitches so far in the first inning. That pitch is not on our pitch track. And Gary Darling, would you say 23 years?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around a long time. He's a very solid umpire, very good ball and strike guy. And when you're not throwing strikes and you've thrown almost 40 pitches in the first inning, you can't expect that call.
The Nationals have not hit a ball out of the infield this inning, except the one that ricocheted off the shortstop. And now Josh Bard could put a big crooked number up on the board.
Well, you got to be patient right here. He just walked Willie. He's in a jam and a half right here. 36 pitches, still cannot seem to find the plate or get loose. I mean, he's almost pushing the ball to home plate.
You'd be shocked to see Josh swing at the first pitch here. But he does, and it's out of play. Cubs are that one hit away from a big inning. Willie Harris, by the way, got his 17th RBI with that walk. Dunn's at third, Willingham at second, Harris at first. And a good take on an off-speed pitch.
Well, and if he throws one down and into Josh, he's got to drop the bat head just like Willie and try to jack it for a home run. So he's really got no velocity behind the fastball.
And that's a good swing, but he's out ahead of it, strike two.
You don't want to be down and in to a lefty, and right now that's pretty much all Zambrano has is something that's moving down, going towards the lefties.
'40th pitch for Zambrano, up the middle, well placed, and a great shovel by Fontenot to his former college teammate Terrio to get the final out. The Nats get a run, an unearned one, on 1 hit and 3 walks, and this an inning saver for the Cubs. Beautiful. Game in the first inning is finally over. Nats 1, Cubs nothing. Bradley, Hoffpower, and Fontenot, as Rob will give you the PNC scouting report on Craig Stammen.
Well, there you see 107 to 57. That is ground balls to fly ball ratio. That's, we're just going to say 2 to 1. And he is the 5th player from that draft back in 2005, first-year player draft. Zimmerman, Maxwell, Lannon, and Estrada have all gotten to the big leagues.
And why is it Freaky Friday?
Freaky Friday. He needs to reverse the trend. On the road, he's 2-2 with a 2.6 ERA. At Natstown Park, 0-2 with a 7.54 ERA.
Okay.
So here at Nationals Park, he needs to get that ERA somewhere in respectability.
1 ball, 1 strike to Milton Bradley right off the end of the bat.
So we'll tell him he's on the road. Everybody else, they're home.
Those of you who remember the movie Freaky Friday, reversal of roles can be quite hectic. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bradley, hitting just .237.
Did you see that first inning by Zambrano? It's kind of freaky.
Yeah. That was more like the marathon. 40 pitches, 19 strikes. 3-2.
Guy hitting, he's kind of freaky
at times.
Again,
that's not a good way to start. Cubs have their 2nd consecutive leadoff man on. It was Fukudome doubling on the first pitch of the game, and a big double play ball to Aramis Ramirez after the Derek Lee strikeout. Rob, was huge.
Yep, he throws a fastball to strike out Lee, throws a fastball first pitch. Ramirez bites, ground ball right at Gonzalez. Taylor made 6-4.
Next up, Micah Hoffpower, a 29-year-old outfielder from Fort Worth, Texas, who the Cubs took in the 13th round in 2002. As we mentioned last night, huge season last year. 34 doubles, 25 home runs, drove in 100 runs at Iowa while hitting .362. And off to a respectable start with the Cubs, at least from the power standpoint. 8 homers, 25 RBIs, and 157 at bats. He drives that ball. Willingham right there. That's going to break on a very hard hit ball for the first down. Next up will be another former LSU Tiger named Mike Fontenot, college teammate of Ryan Theriot. Both of them Louisiana boys.
Playing defense behind Zambrano.
Yep. And that was a very pretty force play to end the first inning. Fontenot with the base hit. That'll move the runner over the third easily. Willingham makes a good play turning around, but too late. And Fontenot hustles his way to a 1-out double. It'll be second and third, 1 out for Coy Hill.
There's Milton Bradley rounding second on his way to third. You see the nice spin right there by Josh Willingham. Just misses Fontenot.
So here's the light hitting catcher Hill, hitting just .217, but he had a sacrifice and an RBI single here last night.
And the guy hitting behind him may be a better hitter than Hill.
Carlos Zambrano tearing it up this year.
Zambrano's got 3 home runs, 5 driven in.
How about 19 career home runs?
He can hit.
For Zambrano.
Probably could have been an everyday player at the major league level.
Stammen nibbling and missing away. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, if you're trying to be careful to get to the pitcher, I got news for you. He's danger. He's a left-handed power guy. Who was the outfielder turned pitcher that went over to Milwaukee and did a little bit of pinch hitting and pitching?
Oh, I
remember that guy.
He played for the Cubs.
Yeah, and
it'll come to me. I know who you're talking about.
And he was like Zambrano, where the guy could just rake.
Brooks Kieschnick.
Great, awesome. First round pick. First round pick. Very nice. Where did that come from?
Well, one of the things I remember about Brooks Kieschnick, he once dropped a fly ball in left field at Milwaukee that helped Bobby Valentine's Mets into the playoffs one year. Another heartbreak September for the Cubs. 3 balls, 1 strike. Driven at the shortstop. Gonzalez to first after looking the runner back to third. Outstanding play by Alberto. 2 outs. For a moment, it looked like Bradley was going to come down the line, and there might be a throw home.
Well, don't hit it soft to him because he has trouble with that, but hit a bullet, and Gonzalez can pick it. His second one of the night. Coy Hill, absolute rope. Turned a double play in the first inning off a shot to him, and then right there, not a problem. Plenty of time to throw Hill out, the catcher. Did everything perfect right there. Looked the runner back, and they were working on infield drills today.
Zambrano 9 hits this year, 3 of them home runs. 19 homers, 52 career RBIs. And here's another interesting stat on Zambrano, the hitter. No sacrifice bunts this year. Lou Piniella doesn't like giving up an out, having this guy bunt. There he goes. Right field corner. The Cubs will lead 2-1, and Zambrano will lumber his way into second base. How about that? He's now hitting .244 with 7 RBIs this year.
If you thought we were kidding about how good Zambrano is, you see him just hands back, waiting on the breaking ball, misses location, from Stammen and just a 2-out double. And drives in 2 more runs.
It was almost heresy for me to even think this as an announcer, but I was about to say, pitcher coming up, first base open. When do we ever think of such a thing? And here's Fukudome, who on the first pitch he saw.
Well, when you see a guy that's a light hitting center fielder that was 0 for 14 until tonight.
Yeah, and his bouncing ball was a double. Zambrano's was a rope. 1-0 from Stammen. Fukudome takes it on the corner. But he did have a very unusual year last year. He made the All-Star team and then ended up the season batting only .257. As Rob said, pretty much disappeared down the stretch. This one right at the second baseman. It backs up Willie Harris. And the Cubs pick up a couple. Zambrano, 2 RBIs, 2-1 game.
Two to 1 as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Now on the Chicago Cubs side of things, there could be a change in the rotation this weekend. Don't be surprised, Lou Piniella told us today, if Ted Lilly does not start tomorrow. He's had a bum knee, and apparently that knee is still bothering him. Also, Alfonso Soriano is out. He dislocated his finger last night. He had it put back into place, but there is still swelling in his right hand, which of course is his throwing hand, and his fingers are taped together. Lou Piniella also said he'll probably be out for a couple of days.
And that was because of a bad base running play when he singled up the middle and got himself picked off first base. There are so many bad things that can happen when your hands are the first thing going into a bag. Zambrano now to Alberto Gonzalez, 1 ball, 1 strike, bottom of the second underway. Ted Lilly was on the All-Star team but may not pitch tomorrow. Interesting. Alberto had a good night with the bat last evening, 2 for 3. Third inning triple, the Nats' first base hit. Problem was his 5th inning single was the Nats' second base hit. They couldn't do anything with Rich Harden last night. Up the middle. Tough play. That's a base hit. And a 6-game hitting streak for Gonzalez, who's now 11 for his last 21.
That's about a 20 hopper up the middle. Fontenot cannot get to it, or Theriot, excuse me.
Yeah, he had no shot even if he gloves it cleanly. Now Craig Stammen can bunt. He's done it twice this year. And Craig's been a good hitter. Lays it down. Zambrano to second.
Safe.
Gets his man. And then at first base safe on the errant throw by the shortstop Theriot. So the Cubs should have had 2 right there.
Now I want to see the replay on the one at second. I think he was safe. Gonzalez hustling all the way right here, but Zambrano sees that opening, goes for it at second. Yeah, he just did get him, but barely. And then the bad turn. Let's try it one more time. From back behind second base. Yep.
So fielder's choice on the bunt. Top of the order, Niger Morgan. That was a real aggressive play by Zambrano.
That's like the hardest throw he's had all day.
I wonder if Coy Hill called that.
Yeah, I would think so, because the play's out in front of Coy.
And with the pitcher running, a lot of times you'll see the guy safe at second, but you'll still get the pitcher at first. That time it happened just the opposite. Morgan slaps one to left field, and he's 2 for 2. Morgan now in his last 4 at bats against the Cubs, 3 hits and a walk with 2 stolen bases. What a busy ball game this has been so far.
Scorecards are littered with mistakes.
Here's Nick Johnson. He walked and scored first time up. But things do happen quickly because Carlos Zambrano gets the ball, steps back on the rubber, and he's ready to throw as soon as the hitter steps in.
He's got a great tempo, keeps his defense involved in the game.
Except when he falls behind people like he did in the first inning and like he has here. 101 major league wins, 65 losses, career ERA 3.48. Misses inside to Nick Johnson, 3-0.
Well, that's a tough night already for Carlos. 51 pitches to get 4 outs. That's a lot of hard work.
Already facing his 11th hitter. And against the Nationals / Montreal in his career, 11 starts, pardon me, 11 games, 9 starts, a 3.02 ERA, and he's 6-2 against our franchise. Nick Johnson rolls over one right side. There's one play, and that's first base for the second out. Stammen to third, Morgan to second with 2 down. Get your red on. Hey, we're wearing our red this weekend, and get yourself a Grand Slam Flex plan. Pick 4 games, you get 1 free, 5 plans to choose from. Pick your plan, your games, your seats, and get a free game at 202-675-NATS or nationals.com/Grand Slam. And again, it's up to Ryan Zimmerman, who batted with 2 men aboard last time and struck out on the front end of a double play.
Bit of a slurve right there. You see Zambrano drop down below the 3/4. Kind of a flat breaking ball. He's trying to get anything to work right now.
Nats need to get a couple runs before he does. Fastball inside.
Well, the good thing for the Nationals is that this is one of the worst offensive teams in the National League. But one of the bad things is they have one of the best hitters, or pitcher hitters.
We've already seen
on their side.
Well inside to Zimmerman, 2-1.
So Lou's got a dilemma here. He doesn't probably want to take him out of the game more so because of his bat than just his pitching.
There have been times when Carlos Zambrano stayed in the game longer than he should have because he's better than most pinch hitters. I thought Ryan might get a breaking ball after Zambrano pounded him in with 2 fastballs. Usually they drop that pitch down and away from Ryan, and he fouls it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nats looking for a big 2-out hit here. Great speed at second. Any hit into the outfield should give the Nats the lead. High gas again, and he overmatches Ryan Zimmerman for the 2nd straight time. His only 2 strikeouts tonight. Men at work taking in the action tonight. Good to see George at the ballpark as we go to the top of the third inning. And Saturday, we want you folks to make a note of this if you're coming down from the Tacoma Park area. The Tacoma Park Metro station will be closed tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. While it's closed, the Red Line will be divided into two segments. Trains run between the Glenmont and Silver Spring Metro stations and between Fort Totten and Shady Grove stations. Shuttle buses will take riders around the accident investigation work and make stops at the Fort Totten, Tacoma, and Silver Spring Metro stations. You can visit WMATA.com for more information. But some repairs necessary up there after the accident several weeks ago, and that's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday. Top of the third, Ryan Theriot fouled off Craig Stammen's 29th pitch of the night. Fouls this one off of his foot. Ryan Theriot, a Cubs third rounder back in '01. Out of that LSU program that won the 2000 College World Series. Rob, I was going to ask you how Craig Stammen's going so far, but I do know that you were not happy with the pitch he made to Carlos Zambrano. Other than that, how is he doing?
Other than that, he's pitching out of jams, moving the ball in and out. A lot of ground balls so far.
You don't like sliders down into left-handers, do you?
First of all, I don't like breaking balls, period, to pitchers, unless you're going to put them away with one in the dirt. But you're working a guy in that's stepping towards our dugout trying to launch home runs. You threw it right in his wheelhouse. You actually helped him.
Ryan Zimmerman, some extra throwing work on the diamond today. Jim Riggleman talking about his arm slot and things the Nats are trying to get Ryan back to his good self over there at third. Cubs and Nats tomorrow. Jordan Zimmerman. We don't know about Ted Lilly, according to Debbie Taylor right now. Series finale, DC 50 joins us on Saturday. Then the Mets are in for 3. Nats Extra, 30 minutes prior to every game with our dynamic duo of Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight. And here's Derek Lee.
But anyway, getting back to Zambrano, you want to throw him fastballs away. If he beats you and hits a double down the left field line, so be it. But to hang a breaking ball and he smacks it down the right field line with 2 outs,
yeah,
that's not acceptable to me. Not as a pitcher. Pitcher, you want to throw them and elevate fastballs and blow them away if you can.
Well, somebody has struck out Zambrano 18 times this year in 41 at-bats. Lee looked at a strike under his hands first time up, and now Craig Stammen has him 0-2 again. Target away this time. And he'll take the fastball and almost bounce it. We told you about the Phillies getting 2 in the first at Florida. Left fielder Chris Coughlin hit his 3rd homer of the year in the bottom of that inning. Phillies 2, Marlins 1. Mets just underway at Atlanta. Jair Jurgens against Mike Pelfrey there tonight. 1-2 to lead. Target away again. Fastball up and away, 2-2. Look at him. Power, the RBIs we talked about. That pitch was not that hard, and it was hanging upstairs. So Derek Lee, 18 homers this year, 256 as he plays in his 13th year. Florida for 6, and now his 6th year with the Cubs. Pulled it. Zimmerman has to back up and plant. Yes. Well done by Ryan Zimmerman. So far, so good on 2 tosses tonight. Rob, there are some balls you cannot charge.
No, that one right there, he lets the ball play him, makes a great play on it. Makes a strong throw over to first.
But I think that arm slot thing that Jim Riggleman was talking about this afternoon is significant. A little more up over the top right there, and that keeps the ball from sailing so much.
Well, and he also doesn't have time to think about it. When I was rehabilitating my shoulder after surgery, I actually was taking ground balls in the hole at shortstop. And it's actually good mechanics the way a shortstop or third baseman going towards the left field foul line. If you're throwing correctly, you're protecting your arm and your shoulder. And that's exactly what, actually, I was with the Cubs and Jim Riggleman when I was doing that drill in spring training.
Aramis Ramirez launches one out of here.
Not coming back.
3-1 Cubs on his 5th of the year. Stammen gives up his 6th. Really not a bad total for 63 innings on the year. And the Cubs have a 2-run lead.
1-1 pitch right here. Looks like a sinker that doesn't sink. And somebody gets a nice souvenir out in left field.
That was a no-doubter. Aramis 254th of his career.
No, you don't want to make mistakes to the 3, 4, 5 hitters in this Cubs lineup. Top and the bottom, you do a lot of work.
It was a mistake when Stammen walked Milton Bradley leading off the 2nd. 2 outs later, he scored on the Zambrano double. That ball driven to left. Adam Dunn's going to have to hurry. He gets it back in quickly, holding Bradley to a single. And the Cubs are getting production from the middle of their lineup here in the 3rd.
The last couple of pitches that have been hit hard have been up in the zone. He's a sinker baller, a ground ball pitcher. Does not have overpowering stuff. He cannot live up in the zone.
Don't make a mistake to this guy. Off power, hit the ball extremely hard first time, right at Willingham and right.
Whew. He had a cut. A guy takes a hack like that, you have to recognize that as a pitcher, and now you throw him something soft and down and away. Coming back in for more.
And it nicked his jersey, it sounded like, and he's going to first base.
I got no problem with that either. Guy takes a hack like that, knock him off the plate.
Gary Darling heard what we did. 2 on, 2 out. There were 2 out, nobody on before the Ramirez homer, and Steve McCatty will pay a visit to Craig Stammen.
Remember, this is his 11th career start. You want that reputation to get around the league that you're not going to stand there and throw batting practice. So now you put that guy on by coming in on him, and I'm sure Steve McCatty is saying, listen, okay, you did that. Now you got to get yourself out of the inning and pitch your way out of this jam.
And the phone rang in the bullpen. Ron Vallone now getting up. Stammen's pitch count now at 50 with 2 outs in the 3rd. Zambrano's thrown 58 in 2 innings, but he could throw 120 or 130 and be around for the 7th or the 8th. Just the way he is.
Well, I think if it gets to Hill or Zambrano,
that's a badly needed out.
Yeah.
Nick Johnson takes care of the Mike Fontenot ground ball. Cubs will settle for a run on the solo homer by Ramirez and lead 3-1. hit of the game. Carlos Zambrano, the pitcher. It'll be really interesting to see how long he can stick around after his rocky start.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need to get Zimmerman going here after the All-Star game. A little sluggish last night, 2 strikeouts tonight. We've let Zambrano off the hook a couple of times now. He's almost up at 60 pitches through 2 innings of work. Here we are in the 3rd inning. If he gets in trouble again, you cannot allow him to get off the hook 3 times in this ball game, and that's the difference right now. Stammen's in a battle, and he's got to battle through his own mess that he's made in his game, but Zambrano, we can't let him off the hook any longer.
Adam Dunn leads off, bottom of the 3rd. 0-2 quickly. He went to 3-0 on Dunn and walked him intentionally back into first. Cubs thought they were out of the inning when Willingham bounced one at Terrio, but he kicked it. And then a bases loaded walk. Adam Dunn strikes out for the 103rd time this year. And in terms of batters striking out in the National League, Mark Reynolds 123, Ryan Howard 103, and Adam Dunn on that cut fastball that appeared, number 103.
Well, it was an 0-2 pitch away, and if you're going to try to pull that pitch, even if it's 92, where it was located, you're not going to hit it. You've got to take that fastball away to left field. And I'm sure that Zambrano talked to Harden and Larry Rothschild, and they struck Dunn out 3 times last night, twice on fastballs.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike to Josh Willingham.
Some nice numbers right there.
With the Phillies picking up Pedro Martinez, who's in the Roy Halladay sweepstakes right now?
I think everybody has to be, but nobody really is interested in giving up the farm for him.
That ball's well hit, but it's hanging up. And that'll give time for Kosuke Fukudome to get over there.
I talked to the general manager of the Astros, Ed Wade, and I asked him that today, and he said, listen, he says, I have to live in the real world. And, you know, and the same thing was said by the general manager of the Cardinals, too. When Colby Rasmus, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year in the National League's name was brought up for Halladay, he said, Halladay? Because we only control him for a year and a half. Why would I trade one of my best young players for Halladay? You know, that's the problem that J.P. Ricciardi faces. He's not allowing anybody to talk extension with Halladay. And so it's going to scare off, I think, a lot of bidders. And then Ed Wade said, listen, we're not in the market for a Halladay. You know, they have a lot of money restraints in Houston, so that's not one of them. But you still have to do your due diligence, call Ricciardi and say, hey, what do you want for him? And then go, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah. And who else can I get from you?
If you call a GM that has a Roy Halladay, and that GM, Ricciardi, knows you're not really a candidate to get him, I wonder what kind of answer you get.
Well, he also probably wants to drive up the price, so you're definitely going to talk to the Red Sox and the Yankees. The Red Sox are going to make sure the Yankees don't get Halladay. As I said last night, if he trades him within his own division and I'm the owner of the Blue Jays, I would not be happy.
2-2 to Harris. Willie RBI walked first time. And this ball floating down the left field line and slicing. Diving is Hoffpauer, and he comes out with the baseball. And the third base umpire, Paul Emmel, says, yeah, he got it. That was a headlong dive in amongst the fans down the left field line. Watch this. powering his way into the seats, literally. Looked like the fans had a much better shot at this one, but he came out with it cleanly. Watch the guy reach. He fans on it, and Huffpower shows the ball in a hurry. Great play.
Yeah, we might want to take the ball kids aside and teach them how to get out of the field of play of a full speed left fielder. And he's saying that. He's saying, I almost hurt that girl. So it's nice to have those kids down there to grab the ball and throw it into the stands, but don't want them getting hurt or run over by a baseball player whose job it is to catch the ball.
Yeah, this isn't the only ballpark where we've seen them get too involved in the action. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Coy Hill, top of the 4th, hit the ball sharply, robbed of a hit by Gonzalez at shortstop. First time up. Stammen, by the way, got through the first 3 innings, 51 pitches, 31 strikes. And against 16 hitters, 10 first pitch strikes. Coy Hill's an Oklahoma kid from a high school in Lawton named after one of our presidents, Eisenhower High School. They call that school Lawton Ike. Went on to Wichita State. And he battles Stammen here in the top of the 4th on a 1-2 count. Fastball got him. Inside corner, a beauty. That was right at the Cubby Bear on the front of his jersey. Second strikeout for Stammen tonight. Affleck with trivia. Here's Medwick.
Affleck!
The last Cubs pitcher to hit 2 home runs in the same game. It seems too obvious.
Too obvious to be Zambrano.
All right, what other Cub pitchers were good hitters? Now see, there's the fastball away you talked about.
No, and
can't do anything with that.
But look at his body language. He's stepping towards first base and swinging, trying to hit a home run.
I'm just trying to think, did Billy Williams pitch any games? What a great hitter he was.
All right, on this swing, he's stepping towards our dugout. You see everything's flying that way. And you got to throw it down and away from him, or you're going to take a beating. Anything in with that hack, and he hits it, it might go second deck.
Target away. Not even close. Strike 2.
See how his butt and his hips are flying right towards first base in our dugout. Throwing a sinker down in the dirt away.
Just staying alive.
Some nights it's going to be a battle when you're pitching. You got to be up for it. It's like a street fight.
And Zambrano will fly this one to center. It'll back up. Niger Morgan, not too far. 2 outs.
Big man, he hit it off the end of the bat. No damage when you're throwing away to him. Let's check this swing out again. Watch him, hips go towards our dugout. All the power is reduced when you throw it to the end of his bat, and he pops out the center.
Well, I'm trying to think of Cub pitchers who are real good hitters. I might just take a wild guess and say
That's Sutcliffe.
Rick Sutcliffe. Yeah. Top of the order, Fukudome 1 for 2 with a double. We saw that good running catch he made in center field last inning. He won 4 Gold Gloves in his 9 years in Japan.
Could have been Kieschnick.
Brooks Kieschnick.
What if Kieschnick went deep twice in the game?
Yeah, I think he was a reliever, though. I don't know if he ever got more than 1 at bat during the
He
game.
might have.
I know they did pinch hit him on several occasions. On a fastball to Fukudome, misses away.
Time through, look at that jump in batting average.
A little scary.
83 points. first one.
Phillies have 2 more runs in the 4th inning at Florida, leading the Marlins 4-1. 4th inning here, 3-1 Cubs. 2-1 pitch. Fukudome strokes it. Shortstop hole. Gonzalez, no chance. Fukudome was beyond the bag when the throw got there, wide or not. And that'll be a base hit all the way. His base stealing, not that stellar at the age of 30. He is only 6 out of 12 this year. There's Ryan Theriot 0 for 2 with a pair of ground balls. I'll tell you who was a really good Cubs hitting pitcher, if I remember correctly. Wasn't Rick Royschel a pretty good hacker?
Yep. Royschel was a big man with a big stick. Swinging.
It's probably Zambrano. They tricked us. Fukudome going. Great throw. Josh Bard put it right on his shoulder. And the Cubs are gone in the top of the 4th inning. Fukudome nailed on a great one by Bard. Josh Bard, bottom of the 4th. Hit into a 4-6 up the middle first time when Fontenot made a brilliant play. Shoveling to Theriot with the glove. We had a little audio problem with our microphones coming out of that break. But we thought Teddy would get a little too generous with the sack of toys, and we were correct. Ryan Theriot puts that one away for the first out here, bottom of the 4th.
It's Freaky Friday. Everything's going haywire.
Alberto Gonzalez next. Ho hum. He has another hit tonight. And he'll step in batting .348. Alberto's bat is going to make it almost impossible for Jim Riggleman to sit him down. Coming into this season, he had only 115 major league at-bats in parts of 2 seasons with the Yankees and the Nats. 49 of them here last year when he batted a robust .347. 2-1 count in his favor. Zambrano gets the outer half to even things up.
Well, and I think Jim Riggleman and Mike Rizzo and Stan Kasten, they have to right now assess the talent level on this team. Who's going to be back next year? Who's tradable? Who are some of the guys that want to play every day? And that's part of Jim's job right now. Not going to be easy, but a guy like Gonzalez, okay, he fits into your future plans. Let him play every day. And you let the other guys scrap over the other at-bats.
Gonzalez reaches out to get this one out of play.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When your job depends on your play, you play a lot better. And if you're scrapping to get at bats and get yourself into the lineup, you're apt to hustle a little bit more. It's trying to get these guys, get a little bit more out of this team.
Chopper foul. Well, he went down to AAA for a while, Rob, and you thought he was much improved early when he got back, and now we have found out how right you are. 2-2.
Well, how many errors did he make before he went down? He had about 6,
I
didn't
think he had 6, and
so
now he has 8.
2 in 30 games. That's outstanding. And the thing is, he's cut down the swing. He's going the other way.
Well, he's had to play 2 different positions, too.
Yes. Yes, he's playing second and short. I would even try him out at third every now and then and give Zim a few days off.
He's got the arm to play over there. High gas up and away, and he can't get to it. And Zambrano with his 4th strikeout tonight. Come out early Sunday and bring the kids ages 12 and under. First 10,000 of them will receive a free insulated lunch bag presented by Smithfield. Nats Cubs at 1:35. You can call 888-632-NATS or visit nationals.com for ticket, schedule, promotional information.
I got to look at those bags today. You're going to want to get your hands on them.
Pretty nice.
Yep.
You know what I love, though, that's in our booth tonight is the dual bobblehead. The big power guys.
Frank Howard and Adam Dunn.
One present, one past.
Yep.
That's coming up in August. 1-1 to Stammen, and he takes it in there. I'm afraid, folks, we are watching Carlos Zambrano after sputtering out of the gate, about to get on the Autobahn here in cruise control.
Well, that's my fear, that he took him 2, maybe 3 innings to loosen up. Now he's loose. He might hang around a little bit.
Despite those 86 pitches, huh?
Yeah.
Stammen a lot fewer.
Big, strong guy. I don't think he's worried about a pitch count.
But you're talking about a veteran against a rookie who understands how to stick around.
Well, and when you have your good stuff, and I'll say this again, and I know it's like a broken record to some of the listeners, there's some days you don't have anything, but you still have to go out and pitch and get through the lineup 3-4 times. And Zambrano had nothing in the first 2 innings. I mean nothing. No fastball, no breaking ball, and he got through there and only allowed 1 run.
Well, that's pretty irritating for him and his manager, his pitching coach, and his teammates. His 4th walk of the night. It's the pitcher. And Stammen's aboard with Niger Morgan coming up here in the 4th inning. And Morgan, who's already 2 for 2, could extend the inning even more. Morgan now as a Nat batting an even .333, or an odd number, .333 as it were. He's 16 for 48. I like his approach tonight, Rob. He's been slapping the ball the other way. He got that little ground ball near the bag he beat out, then a clean single to left.
Well, if you're subtracting pitches, and pretty much Zambrano's thrown 2 tonight, a breaking ball and a fastball. Pretty decent breaking ball. You're either going to ground it or pop it up. Take that fastball to left field. And there you go. It's down in the dirt. You don't want any part of that breaking ball. So if you're Niger Morgan, you say, I'll sit, I'll wait. If I get the right fastball, I'll clip it into left field for a hit.
That time he got jammed, then he fouled it off the other way.
Well, he got 2 strikes he had to protect against that breaking ball right there. But
the other way, I mean, he pulled it as opposed to the rest of the evening.
Well, and you'll see Nick Johnson do that too. Nick's looking to hit it away, but then he'll get something on the inner half and he tries to jack it out of the ballpark.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, that walk may get Zambrano up to the 100 mark here in the 4th inning. He had a chance to get out of this thing quickly, retiring Bard, Gonzalez, but then walking Stammen. There's a base hit to left. 3 great at bats by Nyjer Morgan tonight. So as of that now, he's batting .347.
Well, he stayed alive, got the pitch he wanted. It was up and out. All he does, slap it out to left field. Know your limitations, use your speed, and use Zambrano's stuff against him. Sinker baller likes to throw it away from lefties.
Big spot for Nick Johnson here with the Nats down by 2. Zambrano gets a borderline call for a strike. Against right-handers or lefties, Nick likes the ball right there. Had a splitter look to it.
If you're wondering why the umpire always calls back the ball when it hits the ground, sometimes it gets a scuff on it. And you don't want to keep that ball in play. That's why he'll throw it out. A lot of pitchers like to throw that scuff ball. He can make it do tricks.
Here comes pitch number 100 unofficially. 2-1. The Nationals have only 2 hits in the last time or so through the order. Both of those by Morgan. Only 4 hits all night. That's not going to get it done. A little comebacker to Zambrano. Flips to lead. Nats gone in the bottom of the 4th. They leave 2. They've stranded 7 down 3-1. By Firestone, a tradition of innovation. On to the 5th inning tonight. Cubs 3, Nationals 1. Carlos Zambrano's up around 100 pitches. Craig Stammen isn't, but Rob, there have been times tonight when he's made some mistakes.
Yes, he has. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. There you see above the knees to Carlos Zambrano on the breaking ball. Above the knees right here, Aramis Ramirez, and he's going to jack that for a home run. Above the knees, right there. You cannot live right there if you're Craig Stammen. All 3 of those, not that costly, but it's a 3-1 ball game, and that home run will teach him to keep that ball down and in on righties.
But home runs are going to happen with hitters like that.
Yep.
The one that irritates you is the 2-run double by the pitcher.
Yeah, 2 RBI, 2 out double by the pitcher was a hanging breaking ball. But you live, you learn.
Fifth inning underway. Ryan Theriot was at the plate when Josh Bard gunned down Fukudome. It'll be Theriot, Leanne Ramirez, 2, 3, and 4 for the Cubs.
Well, the good news is Zambrano's up to 100 pitches. The bad news is they have a pretty solid bullpen.
3.80 ERA. The Cubs overall. 3.85 is the bullpen. Oh, a screamer into the seats. One and 2 to Theriot.
You think about Zambrano, in order to get 12 outs, throw 99 pitches, and you've only allowed 1 run and 4 hits.
Yeah. Well, the Nats have managed 4 singles. 3 by the same hitter. Sounded like a broken bat. Zimmerman has it. Couple of crow hops. And I like it. He throws it with authority to first base. Watch the Nats and the Mets Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Get your tickets now visiting the Nationals Park box office right out there in center field. And you can call 888-632-NATS online, nationals.com. Get your tickets today. Get your red on. The Mets are coming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And it's T-shirt Tuesday again. We'll give away Adam Dunn jersey T-shirts on Tuesday evening. Derek Lee, the hitter. Hits it hard. It's caught by Adam Dunn. That thing was taken off like a bullet out there, and Dunn was frozen for a moment and managed to use that big old frame of his, about 6'6", to reach up and get it.
Derek Lee will not be happy. If this was a 5'9" left fielder, this is a double. It's a 6'6" left fielder, and he snow cones it. Watch, that is a bullet.
I have to admit, I haven't put that many stars next to Adam Dunn's number in the scorebook for defense this year, but he gets one there. Now here's Ramirez, similar situation as last time. 2 outs, bases empty, and he went yard for the 5th time in 26 games this year.
Well, that's the thing about major league hitters too. You just think, oh, I'm having a good inning, 2 outs, no problem. You make one mistake and they'll make you pay for it, because they love to hit and they're into every at bat.
Well, they've been sitting around 35 to 40 minutes between at bats,
stewing
some of that time in the field, but yeah, stewing, thinking about, okay, how do I get this guy next time?
Well, stewing over the 6-4-3 double play he hit into.
Yeah, and he hit the ball well that time too. That was not a little ground ball to short.
No, that was the first rocket at Gonzalez.
You know, there's only one of you out there, but there's 9 of them, and they've been waiting their turn. 3-1 to a Ramos. He likes it away from the so-called friendly confines of Wrigley Field. This guy can hit anywhere. 3-2. The Mets at Atlanta tonight. Told you about that pitching matchup earlier. And Pelfrey gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Braves lead 3-0 there. Phillies continue to lead 4-1 in their ball game at Florida. They're in the bottom of the 5th now. Breaking ball had him reaching. Well done. Gonzalez on the run. And a 1-2-3 inning for Stammen for the first time tonight. Zimmerman, Dunn, and Willingham coming up. Gonzalez has played well since. Turns that one with Willie Harris. How about Fontenot Terrio? It's worth another look. And the play of the night, Michael Hoffpower into the seats, and then Josh Bart gunning down Kosuke Fukudome. The icing on the cake, 6'6" Adam Dunn. He needed every inch of that reach. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Well, evidently the younger generation is a little smarter. Cub fans. On to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ryan Zimmerman has been fanned twice on high heaters by Zambrano. First pitch slider, inner half for a strike. Now he's at 100 pitches on the night. One and one. Cubs will be doing some scoreboard watching tonight, where Arizona is just underway at St. Louis. Milwaukee's trailing 1-0 at Cincinnati in that crazy bunched up Central race. Bradley having a hard time seeing the ball, then he spotted it after it got back down into the lights. 8:36 local time. It's twilight time here. Some game notes on Adam Dunn. He's taken Carlos Zambrano deep more than any other hitter. The Nats, with Niger Morgan now 8 for 8, are getting the running game going here in July. And look at the Cubs on the road. Outstanding, including Harden last night and Zambrano tonight. May need a long ball here to wake things up. The Nats have one hit, Niger Morgan, since the 2nd inning. In the division against the Cubs, like Pujols and Berkman and Lee, the only guy not in the division, Chipper Jones, on that list. It shows you what kind of damage he's done against the Cubs, only seeing them 6 to 7 times a year. Adam Dunn 0 for 1 with a walk. 2-2 pitch coming. Took a little bit off and struck him out again. Adam Dunn is now fanned 104 times this year. That's 5 tonight for Zambrano. He'll face Josh Willingham, bases empty, 2 outs.
Zambrano here on the sequence. Fastball in there for strike. 1-1 pitch. Sinker. 2-1 pitch. Throws him a fastball on the outer edge. And he throws him a fork ball to put him away. Adam Dunn at Wrigley, though, 23 home runs career, Bob.
And I bet you they've gone to every part of that park.
Oh, yeah. And how about Great American Ballpark for Dunn? 124 home runs at that ballpark.
A few against the Nats. Josh Willingham's hit 12 this year. Had his 11-game hitting streak snapped last night. But Josh has still hit 380 or so over his last 20 ball games. Two and two. Well, Zambrano might be good for 6 tonight. He's at 111 pitches with 2 outs in the 5th. The most pitches he's thrown this year, his 2nd start, he threw 118 at Milwaukee. Whoa, that breaking ball's a little bit outside.
What was that?
That was a slider that started out 3 feet outside. Aaron Heilman booed out of New York last year. Now a Cub. There's a pitcher who needed a change of scenery. Got him. Front door slider. Zambrano misses by 4 feet and then paints the inside corner. Nats done in the 5th. Story for the Nats, 3 singles, a steal, but he's never made it beyond second base. Aramis Ramirez hit his 5th of the year back in the 3rd. Carlos Zambrano really robbed the story of the game. Nats didn't get him early or get him out just yet. And there's the cutest left-handed air guitar player you'll ever see. Look at that personality. Top of the 6th, there's Milton Bradley.
It's so true, Bob. Talking about Zambrano, had him on the ropes so many times early. Now he's up to 113 pitches through the 5th inning. 15 outs, a lot of work, but only 1 run on 4 hits. Hang a star on that guy because he didn't have a lot to work with early in the ball game, and still
Nothing,
in there.
you thought.
Yep. He had nothing the first 2 innings.
Little chopper to Stammen. Put back up for it. Craig Stammen's pitch count could keep him in for 7 innings, but the Nats may have to pinch hit for him in the bottom of the 6th if they get just 1 man on. So that gets the bullpen busy again with Ron Vallone. Probably the only way Stammen stays in is if the Nats go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Unless Harris, Bard, and Gonzalez all score, or 2 of the 3 score. So he has to pitch like every hitter is his last one to keep this a 2-run affair. That's a foul ball from the bat of Micah Hoffpower. Hoffpower 0 for 1, hit by a pitch. Great diving play into the seats. And the 0-2 pitch from Craig Stammen.
I was watching the news today, and this girl, 13 years old, has tendonitis in both thumbs, texted 9,000 texts in 1 month. And she's on the disabled list now. Doctor said she's got tendonitis in both thumbs.
Is that the new oblique injury now?
I think so.
Thumb tendonitis.
So parents, if you're listening, slow your kids down on the texting.
How about the 2 knuckleheads that wanted to set the monthly record? Then one of them realized he didn't have the unlimited plan.
Oh, I bet that was expensive.
I think his bill was like $120,000. A new genius is born every day. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the 6th.
You talk about geniuses. How about the 2 that didn't get their order right at Wendy's, went in, got into this huge fight. The cops come and arrest them, and they have basically a crystal meth lab in their car with thousands of dollars.
There may be a tie-in to those two events.
Joe Delpo just dropped me a note, Bob, and said his niece puts her phone in a plastic bag, goes in the shower, and texts.
Please.
That's addicted.
Willingham puts that one away for the second out. Mike Fontenot coming up. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by Authority. The Washington Nationals may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or text in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Mike Fontenot 1 for 2 with a double tonight. I did join the texting craze tonight, though. During batting practice, I texted a message to the scoreboard to say hello to my daughter. It's kind of fun at the ballpark. You can say hi to your friends on the scoreboard during BP.
Are you going to get on Twitter and start following Teddy?
I didn't say I was going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Give me one little step at a time.
That's fine. That's fine.
I even spelled it right and everything. Well hit, well caught, well thrown, and well played by Gonzalez. And we go to the bottom of the sixth. Willie Harris, Josh Bard, and Dalberto Gonzalez coming up. Cubs because of a good hitting pitcher with a 2-run double. Who's the most recent Cub pitcher to hit 2 homers in the same game? Is it Zambrano? Is it our guest Rick Sutcliffe? Or is it Ferguson Jenkins? I did not know Fergie had ever done something like
that. The Canadian versus the Expos.
Wow. Zambrano's last start, he went deep against St. Louis. He's hit 19 career home runs and driven in 54. And probably enjoys the home run trot more than anybody in Major League Baseball.
Well, he hit 6 round trippers last year. He's already halfway there this year.
That is crazy good.
Would you say he's got 18? 19?
Wow.
18 career?
19.
That's incredible. That's more than some players in the big leagues after 10 years.
Yeah. Not more than Willie Harris, thanks to last year. Last year, Willie hit 13 of his career 24. Almost had a grand slam here tonight on a ball that hooked foul with the bases loaded in the first inning. Heilman gets it by him upstairs. Aaron Heilman, 30 years of age, 6'5", 227. He's a middle relief guy in his 40th appearance. Marmol and Gregg with more than him, but those are the top three in terms of how much they work. Heilman was supposed to be a setup guy for the Mets, and for a while he was for Billy Wagner, but he had a miserable season last year with New York, trying to set things up with a 5.21 ERA. They got him out of town and went and got K-Rod for their bullpen. Jason Bergman on the right, Tyler Clippard on the left. Willie 0 for 1 with an RBI walk. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Cubs have one lefty in their bullpen. That's former starter Sean Marshall. Two switch hitters coming up. Pardon me, one switch hitter and then a right-hander after Willie Harris. Oh, they're going to get him on the inside corner. Heilman paints right under his hands, and the Nats strike out for the 7th time tonight.
Heilman coming right at you, 92-mile-an-hour 2-2 fastball, moving. That late break, you see him on the first base side of the rubber. Starts it at the hitter's hip, and he gets strike 3. Wanted to throw this number at you. Carlos Zambrano has more home runs than Ryan Theriot. Okay, but I got to give you his career at bats. Well, all right. 534 at bats, 19 home runs. Ryan Theriot, 1,599 at bats, 14 home runs, and that includes the 7 this year. That shows you how good, not how bad. He's an excellent hitter, contact guy, Sir Ryan Theriot.
One and one to Bard here in the 6th. And Josh will foul it off to the left side. Ask about the Nats at massinsports.com. Jim Bobowitz from Chesapeake. All right, Rob, after all that happens with the signal, the pitcher, how does he cross up his catcher if they're supposedly on the same page?
Well, if there's a man on second, you're not going just one signal. You're doing a couple of different signals. You're going, say, second signal, shake it off, first sign. So if you put down 1, 2, 1, it would be a curveball. You shake him off, come back, put up a 2, and the pitcher thinks 2 is a fastball, and he crosses up the catcher. So it's all a question of getting down the communication between the pitcher and the catcher, mostly with a man on second. Hard to cross up a catcher with nobody on base. He's only putting down 1 finger or 2 fingers. He's only putting down 1 signal.
Heilman trying to strike out the side. Alberto Gonzalez in there. Austin Kearns on deck.
But I got to be honest with you. I mean, there was times when I was out on the mound and I was so fired up. Catcher would put something down. I'd say okay, and I'd forget what he called.
Yeah. Then you're trying not to ruin the rhythm of your appearance.
Oh yeah. So well, you don't want to embarrass yourself either.
Do I step off or do I just go ahead and throw something?
You step off. You don't call timeout. You step off like, oh, I got something in my eye or my shoelace is untied.
Yeah.
And you get back in there. Okay, hey, what was that? What were you talking about? Okay, oh, fastball. Okay, yeah, I'm down with that.
I got to step off. I have something in my brain. 3-0. Nats could use a runner here. And Heilman throws one over the outside half. 1 base hit still since the 2nd inning for the now quiet Washington offense. We thought the Nats were onto something when they scored 13 runs on 21 hits Saturday night in Houston, but since then 3 runs, 1 of them earned since Saturday night. And Gonzalez will hit it out to center. Fukudome drifting, and the Nats are gone. We'll see if Stammen comes out for the top of the 7th. Cubs still lead it 3-1. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Corona and Corona Light. Kick back and relax with an ice cold Corona and lime. Relax responsibly. Top of the 7th. Lots of activity on the concourses tonight. Not enough activity with the Nats and the Bats. We're going top 7, 3-1 game. Washington into its bullpen now with Tyler Clippard. Get your red on. T-shirt Tuesday coming up. First 10,000 fans Tuesday night to come in the gates. It's an Adam Dunn jersey T-shirt presented by Mission. Get hired. 888-632-NATS. Nationals.com or stop by the box office here at the ballpark. First pitch swinging the catcher Coy Hill. Tyler Clippard's 7th appearance. Nearly 8 innings. 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. Clippard not spectacular yet, but he hasn't really had that awful outing either.
Yeah, but
every one of his appearances has fallen somewhere in between.
Aren't we converting him from starter to reliever? Isn't that what they did in the minor leagues this year with him? I mean, I think he's made a very strong transition.
29 starts last year, including 2 here.
No, we talk all the time. He's learning on the job.
Rob, let me ask you something. You're a starter, then a reliever. How do you choose which pitch to eliminate?
That's not easy. He's throwing breaking balls and change-ups. You just have to know the hitter and the situation to not get beat with that, what you consider your 3rd best pitch. If his changeup is his number 2, get outs with the number 2. But you're going to have to eventually get rid of the number 3 if you're only going to go through the lineup once. Now, if you're a long man, you don't have to eliminate the pitch. And there you see the changeup from strike 3.
He will eliminate Coy Hill. Aaron Heilman was in the on-deck circle strictly as a decoy. And now the Cubs will come with Sam Fuld, a left-handed hitting outfield.
2-2 change. You see the great arm action by Tyler Clippard. I wouldn't eliminate that pitch. That's pretty nasty.
Yep.
But as he goes along, he's getting more of an attitude and being more aggressive. That's not easy because as a starter, you're always holding back. You're trying to pace yourself and be able to get through 100 to 120 pitches. Now, you only need 15, 20, 30 pitches some nights. You can just blow it all out.
Here's 27-year-old rookie outfielder Sam Fuld, originally from Phillips Exeter Academy up in New Hampshire. Then he went to Stanford, 3-time All-Pac-10 there. Smart guy, has a degree in economics. It's taken him a while to make it to the big leagues. And a good breaking ball by Clippard has him 0-2. So 1 scoreless inning for Aaron Heilman with 2 strikeouts. He's done for the night. The Nats still don't have anything to show against the Cubs bullpen in this series.
Bob, here's Clippard on the rubber. You see he's on the first base side, so he's standing directly in the line of sight of the left-hander. So when he's throwing fastballs, it looks like they're right at him. And the breaking balls, if he starts them far enough away, break down and in. It's the side I used to stand on. When righties get up there, I'd go to the third base side.
Or you moved sides, huh?
Absolutely.
Dude, how many pitchers do that?
Not many.
That ball pulled. Willie Harris ranging to his left. Willie always has a great arm to finish off plays like that.
Nice play, Willie.
Base is empty, 2 outs. Up to the top of the order, Kosuke Fukudome. Ray Knight, Johnny Holiday are in the ballpark all weekend long. Nats Extra. It's the post game presented by Verizon Fios. Ray will recap Craig Stammen's performance. It is a quality start, by the way. 3 earned runs, 6 innings, 6 hits. Niger Morgan 3 for 3. Can't wait to see him bat again. And some post-game thoughts from manager Jim Riggleman. Top of the order, Fukudome. And now it's the Cubs who have not had a hit since Fukudome singled in the 4th with 2 outs and then was cut down stealing by Josh Bard.
Through the changeup, below some gas right by.
There it is. After that changeup, that 91 mile an hour fastball looked a lot higher than that.
That's why you call it the great equalizer, because the arm speed, if it's the same as the fastball, The hitter's going, I don't know what's coming now.
All right, call this pitch for us.
Change up.
That was 81, straight change.
Let's see the world from up above, Tyler Clippard.
Always want to watch his landing area here, huh?
Yep. Oh, he doesn't throw across the body. See that? If you were to draw the straight line right there, he lands over there.
Well, he finishes up square, too, indicating he should be a good fielding pitcher. Absolutely facing the hitter when he finishes, and a lot of guys don't.
Now, I like him. He's got a slow, deliberate delivery, and then he explodes on. He doesn't have 98-mile-an-hour stuff, but with that changeup, it looks like it. Well, your catcher wanted that pitch up, threw it down Broadway.
Just updating one score in the NL East. It's now the top of the fourth at Atlanta, and the Braves are all over Pelfrey and the Mets, 6-0. The Mets are in fourth place right now. Here in Washington, it's just beyond the 9 o'clock hour on a beautiful evening in Nationals Park. 3-1 Cubs, Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor, our Masson HD crew with you. And no offense to speak of for the Nats tonight. They've only scored one unearned run on a bases loaded walk.
It's 9 o'clock on a Friday.
Regular crowd shuffling in.
Yep.
Now they've been here a while.
Yes. And I changed the words. I think it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
It is. You know, I can't believe Billy Joel didn't ask you to sing with it. Too bad you had a game that night.
I can't sing and I can't dance.
Well, we like having you around.
Thank you. I like being around.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Fukudome.
Ooh, almost.
Pretty good breaking ball.
Yep. I'm a 3-2 changeup right here.
And he gets a little can of corn out beyond second base. Niger Morgan is right there. And a 1-2-3. Did you see that little hop? Who does he think he is? Alfonso Soriano? 7th inning stretch time. Nats down by 2. With their third pitcher of the night, it'll be their left-hander out of the bullpen, Sean Marshall, who we thought was going to show some promise for them, Rob, as a starter a couple of years ago, but 06, 6-9, 24 starts, 07, 7-8, 19 starts. Started 7 games, but pitched a lot out of the bullpen last year. Now they like him there.
Well, he's a valuable piece in the machine. They have enough starters. So right now, until they need Marshall, and hey, if Ted Lilly's knee goes bad, he's right back in the rotation. But this is a very good bullpen. Lou loves being able to go to the bullpen. I know from experience. He'll go to it early and often if it's good after the 6th and 7th inning. And he's got a lot of weapons down there. The other night, Lou actually took Marshall put him in left field for a hitter so he didn't have to remove him from the game.
Yeah.
And then brought him back in, and he did the job and got out of the inning.
That's when they played that day-night doubleheader Sunday against St. Louis. Kearns goes up swinging. The last manager I could remember doing that was back in the 80s. Whitey Herzog did that with Ken Daly a couple of times. He'd come in and face a lefty, go to right field for an at-bat or two, and then come in and face another lefty. Very innovative by Lou. It worked out. And they managed to get the nightcap of that day-night doubleheader Sunday night to gain a split in that 4-game series against their arch rival. So Kearns for Clippard here. Austin as a pinch hitter this year, pretty good. 3 for 8 with 2 RBIs. 0-2 though. He's got a swing. It's close enough, and he's gone. And that's the 9th National to strike out tonight. No contact, no hits lately, except for the man walking to home plate. Firestone is a tradition of innovation. Most managerial wins in the history of the Cubs. The great Cap Anson, almost 1,300. Charlie Grimm, Frank Chance, Tinker to Evers to Chance. Leo DeRocher might have been the most colorful ever. And Jim Riggleman is number 6 on that list. Jim Riggleman managed the Cubs from 95 to 99. And he won a division in 98 when the Cubs went 90 and 73 and won the wild card. Pardon me, didn't win the division but got in the playoffs. That was the year Sammy Sosa hit 66 home runs and Mark McGwire 70. Jim managed in the minors for St. Louis for 7 years. Morgan had to wait and wait for that breaking ball, then he hit it slowly to second. Fontenot throws him out. 2 down here in the 7th. So Jim Riggleman's managerial record now in parts of 10 seasons: 552 wins, 653 losses, and there's his record as a Cub manager. Managed the Padres 92 to 94. And Jim had an interesting time in Seattle last year doing that after Mike Hargrove left the ball club. And Jim told me back in spring training that the Mariners told him, we don't care how many games you win or lose. Here's some young guys we want to get a look at for next year. Blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the year, they said you didn't win enough, so we're not going to make you the permanent manager. So that's basically how Seattle treated him last year. We're glad that he ended up with our ball club.
Absolutely.
Not that we're happy about any manager getting fired, but when something like that happens, you like having a Jim Riggleman around. And that ball is right off the scoreboard from Nick Johnson. A 2-out double here in the 7th. And Nick 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. So his on-base average will continue to climb. And we'll see if Ryan Zimmerman can do something against a left-hander. We mentioned Ryan has only hit .209 against southpaws this year.
Right there, you saw the catcher set up way away. Marshall doesn't hit the spot, hits the inside part of the plate, and Nick ropes it against the wall.
Well, right here, just a base hit to make this a 1-run game would be sweet. Plenty of time to come back and win this game. But if you don't get back at the Cubs through 7 innings, you're looking at Carlos Marmol and Kevin Gray. Ryan 0 for 3. Late game homer last night. Looking for hit number 102 to get the Nats closer or back even. Breaking ball, right side, Fontenot. Nats gone in the 7th. They've stranded 8 tonight, and we have something presidential coming your way from our nation's capital in a moment.
time moment. He and his family got to visit the White House and spend some time with President Barack Obama.
He's done a wonderful job here in the 8 months that he's been in office. Took over in very difficult times, and things are getting better. Probably not as quick as he would like, but getting better. And he's presenting a very hopeful and optimistic view for our future of our country.
Lou told me he was so impressed with the president, and today a group of Cubs players also went over to the White House for a behind-the-scenes tour, including tonight's starter Carlos Zambrano and Reed Johnson. Bob?
Thank you, Debbie Taylor. Top of the 8th inning now. Terrio, Leanne Ramirez for Lou Piniella. The Nats closer Mike McDougall not getting any save opportunities lately. He needs some work. He'll pitch the 8th and try to keep this a 2-run game. Rob, your thoughts on McDougall in the 8th in a game like this?
Well, Jim Riggleman is the new manager, and I don't think anyone is the closer down there. 3-1 ball game. You're just trying to keep it where it is. If you want Mike McDougall to continue to get late inning outings, he's got to come in games like this and get a couple outs, get 3 outs, and get you back in the dugout. I think that's what everybody's up against in that bullpen right now.
Terrio 0 for 3 with 3 grounders tonight. Pretty good looking breaking ball, just missing 2-1.
This is what you would call, like at the end of the year, Johnny Holstaff. And as bad as the bullpen has been, everybody should be available from the first inning on.
Long homestand.
We said it before, and I heard Ray say it last night. It's going to take a team effort to pull this team out of the funk that they're in. No one man's going to be able to do it. No 5 guys are going to be able to do it. Every guy on this team.
Down goes Terrio. And by the way, this homestand is even a little longer than originally scheduled. Mets for 3. And a reminder, because of a rainout, St. Louis comes in here Thursday night. Down he goes. Chris Carpenter is pitching in St. Louis tonight against Arizona. We could see him next Thursday here. And then the Padres come in, so this will not be an easy homestand. Quality ball clubs, Chicago, New York, St. Louis. Then the Nats will take their chances with the worst offensive team in the National League, San Diego.
And it was thrown out there today because San Diego's not going to the playoffs. Adrian Gonzalez, their all-star first baseman, is going to get more and more time off to rest him in the second half of the season.
Well, he's just about is their offense. McDougall walks the first man he faces. And I know the thing that really galled Manny Acta, the previous manager here, and Steve McCaddy, is the way the veteran pitchers keep walking people. It's not the kids. Here's Derek Leo for 3. Killed the ball last time. So this time he gets jammed and gets himself a base hit. He probably hit the ball to Adam Dunn twice that hard last time. And the Cubs now, with the veteran bullpen guy struggling here in the 8th, have a chance to maybe put this game away.
Well, he throws hard 95 to 97, but he doesn't have a second pitch. And when he does try to throw a breaking ball, usually it's about 2 feet away from a righty. Doesn't throw many to lefties. So Mike's got to come up with a changeup or take something off the fastball, or he's got to get a second pitch.
Well, they're calling out the Cubbies here. Their fans want this game to be put away right here. Aramis Ramirez 1 for 3 with a homer. Last night the Nats couldn't stop the Cubs in the late innings. They scored in the 6th, the 7th, and 3 in the 9th to put away a 6-2 ball game. Ramirez has hit into 1 double play tonight.
See, even right here, it's a 2-0 count. If you had a slow slider or changeup or something, you could get in there and get back in the count. It would help. But I'm sure the scouts are saying, listen, all he can do is get the fastball over.
And if he doesn't, 2-1 now. McDougal really had it going with Kansas City. 27 saves in 03, 21 in 05. His strikeout to walk ratio in one case was 3-1 and the other was above 2-1. Now here with the Nats, the rather alarming total of 7 strikeouts and 15 walks. There's the homer Aramis Ramirez hit with 2 outs and the bases empty off Craig Stammen back in the field.
Oh, really 2 mistakes all night by Craig Stammen. One to the pitcher. 2 runs came in on that 2-out double by Zambrano, and then that one to Ramirez. But you're going to give up home runs. Nobody on base. There was no walks. Went in a jam.
Well, Ramirez may be too few at bats to really tell the runners in scoring position story because of his injury this year, but he certainly is off to a good start. That was like signing a free agent when the Cubs got him back in their lineup. 2-2 pitch, 2 on, nobody out. He gets jammed. Nick Johnson right there, infield fly rule in effect. It's a foul ball caught by Nick for the first out. Next up will be Milton Bradley. $27,581, including an Aramis Ramirez fan in the ballpark tonight. At just over, well, almost 27 last night, 26,980. So a 2-game total of right around 54,000 for this series, which will draw over 100,000 by the time we spinning the turnstiles on Sunday. I'm pretty sure the only turnstiles left are the ones at the metro stations. They just beep your tickets now when you come in. The old turnstile is a thing of the past in most ballparks now.
I think we should go back to the platinum cards they used to give out to season ticket holders, and you just flash that and you get in the ballpark.
Well, they knew everything.
They're at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. A chopper, a tag, a leap, and a throw. Willie Harris, a 4-3 double play. Derek Lee hit the dirt, and Willie got him on the way by. Interesting play. Top of the 8th inning is over, and Willie Harris keeps this a 2-run game. You know, he never tagged him with the ball, did he? And how about this one by Mike Fontenot to Ryan Theriot? Never had to throw it. And Rob, that ended the first inning with the bases loaded in a 1-0 game at the time.
Well, Fontenot gloves Mercedes-Benz.
Nice.
Fontenot to Theriot. Zambrano has to cover first, though. To Zambrano.
Yeah. He's not French, by the way, Carlos.
I thought he was French-Canadian. Oh. Oui, oui.
You would not want to go in a corner with a hockey stick against Carlos Zambrano.
Oh.
He is something else.
He might come from the up, down, on top of your head, the axe maneuver.
That guy would be a competitor no matter what he did.
Yep.
That ball's hanging up. It looked like Milton Bradley at the tail end of that play was fighting the lights on the third base side, but he made the grab, and the Nats are down to their final 5 outs. Ted Lilly, we hear, may be scratched, says Debbie Taylor, for tomorrow's start. He, of course, is an all-star. He had won his last 2 starts, so we'll see how the Cubs play it tomorrow. We do know Jordan Zimmerman's pitching. 2.70 ERA his last 7 starts. We'll get you going at 6:30 with Johnny and Ray. Nats Extra pregame.
Well, we showed you that statistic at the beginning of the game on the starting pitching. Another good outing by the young starting rotation.
Sean Marshall gives up 1 hit, facing 5 batters. He's in the dugout now with a scoreless outing. And further into the Cubs bullpen go the Nats, who trail by 2. Southwest.com and by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. Jefferson Memorial looking beautiful on this Friday night. Some folks are heading for the Navy Yard station. Hopefully some offense still to be had by the Nats, but it's going to be tough now. Here comes the Cubs supreme setup man, Carlos Marmol, with that nasty slider.
And he's going to put some marmalade on the old red.
Right-handers do not look forward to this. Josh Willingham's assignment, then Willie Harris. He misses up and in with a fastball. Good ERA. That save opportunities thing is deceiving.
Yeah, it's skewed because he's blown saves in the 7th and 8th inning.
Yeah, I mean, the way it is now, relievers can blow a save in the 6th inning. It's a very strange stat that probably shouldn't be even considered for anybody but a closer. I mean, they have the hold. There's that nasty slider, but Willingham did a great job of IDing that pitch. Down by 2, a walk's as good as a hit for the Nats right now, at least while the bases are empty. Willie Harris is next. Then a switch hitter, Bard. Well, they're sitting through a rain delay down in Florida now, the Phillies and the Marlins. Willingham not at first base just yet.
This is a crafty young man. I bet he throws a 3-2 combo here, changeup, curveball.
It is. 2 outs in the 8th. And Cubs pitchers have struck out 10 Nationals tonight.
Never trust a reliever. Bases loaded, they'll throw you a 3-2 breaking ball right there. Nobody on base. Leadoff hitter, 3-2 changeup, curveball. Bye-bye. That's where you make your money as a reliever. Get ahead, but even though he was 3-0, got back in the count, put him away with his bread and butter.
Nationals 1 hit since the 4th inning, 2 hits since the 2nd, and no runs since the 1st. If the Nationals do not score again tonight, since the explosion Saturday night in Houston, they will have gone 29 innings and scored 1 earned run. Oh, 0-2 to Harris. Willie just got a nick at it. Harris tonight 0 for 2. RBI walk. Nats only had 4 hits in the 6-2 loss last night. So in this series, the Cubs have out-hit Washington 17-9. Harris gets a good piece of that one out to right, but Milton Bradley is there, and the Nats go in order, bottom of the 8th. 3-1 Cubs still. Cubs lead the Nats. Our friends down the road, the Potomac Nationals, invite you to join the party. Saturday fireworks are back at Fitzner Stadium. Future stars of your Nats and the best fireworks in the area, other than Friday nights here, of course. There will also be a P-Nats giveaway to the first 1,000 fans and kids to get to run the bases after the fireworks tomorrow night. As always, tickets start at just $8. 703-590-2311 or log on to PotomacNationals.com. Real baseball, real close. It's only a half hour away. And here's Joe Beimel to pitch the top of the 9th. Micah Hoffpower, Mike Fintano, and Coy Hill for the Cubs. Hoffpower 0 for 2, hit by a pitch tonight. Now the Nats are staring Kevin Gregg in the face for the 9th inning. Came in last night in a non-save situation, but could be a different story tonight. if Beimel can keep this a 2-run game. And a breaking ball swung on in. Fouled. Maybe missed. Well, the headaches just keep getting worse for the Mets. Martin Prado his 5th. Brian McCann his 9th homer of the year. The Braves have just put 4 more on the board in the 5th and lead the Mets 10-0. Had him reaching. Good pitch. Little pop-up. Alberto Gonzalez for the first out of the 9th. The Phillies lead 4-1 at Florida, delayed by rain, but it is an official ball game because it's in the top of the 6th. And if those 2 results hold up, the Mets will be 8.5 games out at the end of the night. Reed Johnson now is going to hit for Fontenot. Johnson was the leadoff man last night, went 2 for 5 with an RBI single. And Lou Piniella likes to get him in there for defense late in the ball game. And a high pop fly. Straight back. Reed Johnson made one of the best catches we've ever seen in this ballpark on Felipe Lopez last year. Watch this. Banging into the wall after he hit the warning track. Look at that.
That's outstanding.
There's Mark DeRosa, who was playing next to him at the time.
Lou loves players like that. They got him off of he was released or waived by the Blue Jays last year. Great pickup by the Cubs. He is just an all-out gamer. Will dive, do whatever it takes on defense.
Hit .303 for the Cubs last year after they signed him in March of 08. Rob, they signed him on March 26th. The season started on March 30th.
Yep. Well, they cut him loose in Toronto.
Yeah. Beimel has Johnson totally clueless on that at bat. Great pitch, 2 outs, bases empty. Coy Hill coming up.
No, I really believe the Cubs, and they're playing well against us, but they've had trouble all year. The difference is there's no Mark DeRosa, and I loved Mark DeRosa. Versatile player, can play all over the field. Cubs have a lot of nice players, good guys.
He's a glue guy, isn't he?
He's a glue guy, and he's a guy that stirs it up in the clubhouse, and now he's with the Cardinals. I know he's injured, but when he's healthy and doing what Mark DeRosa does, he's the type of player helps you win ball games.
Coy Hill 0 for 3 tonight, pair of strikeouts. If this result stands up, Carlos Zambrano will be 6-4 on the year. And in a few moments, Kevin Gregg will be seeking his 17th save. One and one to Hill. Off speed, way out ahead of it. Zimmerman, he'll take a couple of extra hops, and Nick Johnson saves Ryan Zimmerman from his 14th error of the year. Wow. Well done by Nick. Here come the Nats. Bottom 3 due up. Thank you, gentlemen, and here we go. Kevin Gregg, he did work the 9th inning last night. Ryan Zimmerman took him deep, but the Cubs were up 5 runs at the time. Let's have a look at our 4th drive of the game. And Rob, it is off the bat of a Cub pitcher tonight.
Well, he can swing the bat. 3 homers on the year, had 5 RBI, now has 7. Hanging curve, gets a double, trotting into second. So the 4th drive of the game goes to Carlos Zambrano. Difference in this game.
Kevin Gregg to close it out for the Cubs. They've shored up their defense. We'll get to that in a moment. Josh Bard leads off. First pitch swinging, it would have been low, but it's strike 1. Reed Johnson will stay in the ball game and play left field in the 9th, replacing Micah Hoffpower. And then they bring in Andres Blanco to play second base after Johnson hit for Fontenot. That's a breaking ball for a strike. 0-2. Fastball close enough to be hacking. Looked like a high splitter. That thing started high, and Rob, it went straight down.
I think you would be correct. It's the type of strike pitch you try to get ahead of a lefty with, but as Bob said, it's a put him away fork ball. Same arm action as a fastball. You really aren't holding the ball too tight.
And by the way, Ronnie Belliard's on deck here. If you're wondering where Christian Guzman is, unavailable today. He's having some foot problems. Described to us by Jim Riggleman this afternoon as bunions and problems with the bottom of his feet, not enabling him to play. He would be the obvious choice as a pinch hitter next against a right-handed pitcher. And Gonzalez takes a breaking ball outside, 2-1. Guzman unavailable. Gonzalez, easy fly ball to left. Reed Johnson, 2 outs. The Nationals, 1 unearned run tonight because of a shortstop error and a bases loaded walk. The offense has disappeared since Saturday night's explosion at Houston. We're back with you tomorrow night, Johnny and Ray, at 6:30. And then our play-by-play at 7:05. Cub fans making lots of noise here. Ronnie Belliard pinch hits. Last 2 nights, Nats starters have given up 5 earned runs in nearly 13 innings. But there's no offense to help them out right now. And a breaking ball. Belliard fouls it, 1-2. And the Cubs are a strike away from their 45th win of the year, trying to go 2 games over 500. No swing, says DJ Rayburn. Belliard, base hit, right field. The Nats are still alive. And the tying run into the batter's box. Not a home run threat, but still alive with Nyjer Morgan, who's 3 for 4 tonight.
Kevin Gregg tries to get in on him with a fastball. A little inside-out action for Ronnie Belliard in right field.
That's Ronnie Belliard's 5th pinch hit this year, by the way. 5 for 25. Now here's Nyjer Morgan.
A little base hit action here, and then Nick Johnson goes deep. Game over.
I like it. A one-handed swing by Morgan, overmatched on a breaking ball. With the runner going, defensive indifference, and Belliard down to second base. Base hit makes it a one-run game. Morgan strikes out, game over. Nats drop it 3-1. Just can't get hits with men on base. A familiar story, a big part of this season. And tonight, Washington